Hello and welcome back to Our Life Beginnings and Always. Cove wants to take it out to the water. Yeah, definitely. We're hanging out with the bee-man on the bee beach. This is the hang. We're hanging out with the family, having ourselves a party. I should also see if my neighbors are having a party outside. They were today. You felt pleased that Cove remembered what you wanted to do. Sometimes he could be thoughtful like that. I mean, is that really that hard to remember that we want to go to the ocean, in the water, we're at the ocean? Terry threw her stuff down in the sand and started running for the waves. Miranda was more careful, setting down her things and waited for you and Cove. Cove tilted his shoulder to gesture over the ocean.
Alright.
I've been looking forward to this. Yeah, we're just kind of leaving Baxter on the shore. I mean, that's what he gets, right? Four of you made your way down to the shore, telling together. Miranda cartwheeled and Terry clapped. Baxter watched. Cove swam out the farthest, while Terry instigated a splash fight. It was near enough that Baxter could comment on it. There was rarely a quiet moment where someone wasn't laughing. I mean, I don't know, I would have swam, Marina would have swam out too. It would be crazy to me, and I guess this is not unusual. I've been in plenty of places like this in my life, but to be at an ocean where there was at a beach that had absolutely no swimming requirements, and you could just go out as far as you wanted. With undertow would be the only thing you'd have to be concerned about. I don't like deep water though, so I don't know that I would want to go too deep in the ocean. I don't know. I don't like deep water, man. I have kind of a fear of it. I keep thinking I wanted to do Subnautica this year, and I'm like, why do I want to play Subnautica so badly? Hours passed and the group had moved between different activities, some low-key and some more exhaustive. For you, it was break time. Baxter agreed. You sat in your towel sipping at some water as he rested on his. Your friends were hard at work burying Terry's full body under a pile. Oh, so we still have to have the Baxter moment here because we have to take a break. Miranda used her arms to force up sand around Terry's side. Cove worked on covering Terry's feet. He took another drink and glanced over at Baxter. I wonder if... I guess Marina would probably be roughly the same height as Terry. Probably is what I think. Poor Miranda being the short one in the group. He was staring at the water, but there was an entirely different feeling radiating from him. Oh geez, this man's... Here we go. Rather than pure awe, there was a level of discomfort marring Baxter's expression. You wondered what was bothering him. We're all having fun in the ocean without him. Suddenly, he turned towards you as if he could feel your curiosity prodding at him. He surprised you with a kind smile. Baxter is the lonely person. Self-deprecating and lonely. Poor Baxter. Why am I even saying that? Screw Baxter.
To be honest,
I'd never swam in the ocean before. He let that hang there and then absent-mindedly brushed some of the sand off his thigh. After spending so much of your life in Sunset Bird, you honestly struggle to believe that. I've been on boats, of course, but I can't imagine being fully immersed in the ocean. It's a bit, well, frightening. I've never swam in the ocean before either, Baxter. I've touched it, I've put my feet in it, but I've never swam in it. That's a good idea. I really need to go and, frickin' do that before I die. It seems endlessly deep and unpredictable, with powerful waves and rapid currents. And there are creatures lurking in there. Some of them are larger than me. It's unfathomable. You don't play with something like that. Holy crap, this is angry. Look at how angry he looks. Oh my goodness. I missed this before. His face bothers me. I hate it. I wanted to like him at first. That's why I hate him. But this is kind of his description of the ocean is kind of how I feel about the ocean. If I enter the water, I'll never return from it. The ocean will swallow me whole. That's what I think. His smile strained under the weight of his growing nervousness. Baxter had always carried himself so calmly. This genuine vulnerability left you speechless. And then you heard Miranda screech. Your attention immediately switched over to your friends. You registered that Terry had gotten impatient and shifted her legs. The walls of Miranda had been meticulously building, collapsed into a wet heap of sand. She surveyed the damage critically. You probably could have buried me. We're gonna have to start over on that part. Do you want to give up on this now? No way. The burial must continue. I'll try not to move anymore. Okay, if you're sure. I'll try to fix this. Miranda started to rebury her, and Terry shot her a thumbs up. She realized too late that moving her arm was a bad idea. More of the sand on her crumbled, and Miranda put her head in her hands.
Don't worry about it.
I've got that part. Miranda nodded at him with appreciation. They got back to work, redoubling their efforts to the pile of sand over the limbs of their friend. Meanwhile, we got Baxter here just staring at us. Baxter caught your eye and you both snickered at the interruption. As if it grew quiet again, you offered Baxter some words. Why would we be talking to Baxter instead of helping bury Terry? That's what I want to know. Because we're forced to. I wonder if... Oh, we can offer to. We can offer to do that. Oh, but the thing is... Yeah, that's probably what she would do, honestly. I don't know. I keep thinking, is she going to want to get Baxter into the ocean? Because for Marina, the ocean is life. Like, I kind of feel... I understand where Baxter's coming from about the ocean. Like, it's deep and unfathomable at parts, and there's dangers and sea creatures. Dark, wet, sea monsters. I didn't see any sea monsters. But Marina, the ocean is love, the ocean is life, man. She might feel really bad that someone doesn't get to experience it at least once in their life. I feel like she might encourage him to want to go in. But I don't like the "I'll be there with you" line very much. But she'd also feel bad about being left out of her friend's little fun party, sand party. I think we're gonna pick this one. Baxter's near perpetual smile flattened into a thin line. He swallowed visibly. I'm not saying you should go for a swim. You could get your feet wet. Feel the waves brush against your toes? He ruminated on your suggestion for several seconds. Gradually, you caught the upturned twist of his lips.
It's doable.
Well, I suppose I could manage that. Then let's go. Let's. One by one, Baxter removed his sleek black shoes and gently set them on his towel. You noticed they had a slight heel to them. Next, Baxter peeled... Oh, he's got dancing shoes. Baxter. Next, Baxter peeled off his crisp white socks and stuffed them inside his shoes. Finally, he rolled the tattered edge of his jeans up to his calves. To be fair, I wear socks to the ocean, too. The two of you got up and approached the ocean's edge. As soon as the water rushed forward and tickled the skin, the air caught in his throat, and Baxter froze in place. Stupid Baxter. Stupid surprise Baxter. You waited patiently, offering your hand. You gave him an encouraging look. Yeah, that. He met your confidence with a worried stare. Baxter swallowed thickly and shakily exhaled. Gradually his breathing even out. You're already past the hardest part. You got this. Baxter inched further until the water crept up on his calf. He watched surprisingly, the water swirling around him as it moved with the tide, and surprisingly, he chuckled at the sensation. You know, this is rather nice. Yeah.
But
This is as far as I go. I'm positive on that point. That's okay. Right here is perfect. I'm just glad this wasn't too bad for you. As am I. Baxter stayed there and viewed the waves not from a distance, but from within their embrace. His nerves ebbed until the two of you were relaxed in that bubble of each other's company. At least by your side, he could enjoy the feeling of the ocean from a safe level.
Oh, yeah.
Resembling the Kool-Aid Man, she kicked herself... It was supposed to be the Kool-Aid Man, Terry, and you... What was that? Oh, yeah. I gotta hear that again.
Oh, yeah.
What does this say? Merlovia? That's the version of... I wonder if that's an actual version of, like, a swimwear thing. Also, I'm pretty sure you've seen that symbol on, like, a store in, like, the mall or something somewhere. Resembling the Kool-Aid Man, she kicked herself out of the ground with a gusto. Sand went flying in all directions, and Terry-shaped imprint was left behind. Miranda yelled again, and Cove chuckled. There probably wasn't a better way to get out of it. You didn't get to join in on burying Terry, but you didn't mind. The one-on-one time you did with Baxter was something you wouldn't have missed. Yeah. No, that's not true. Maybe we gotta go back. This wasn't about Baxter. It was about people missing out on the ocean and Marina not being able to fathom anybody not liking the ocean. You waved cheerily to your friends, and the five of you regrouped about halfway between the towels and the destroyed tomb. Man, am I ready to wash this off. Terry looked down at herself and laughed. She tried brushing the wet, mushy sand off, but most of it stubbornly clung on. She only succeeded in moving around where it was on her. I hate getting sand all over me at the ocean, at the beach. That's something I do. Terry's grin tilted when her gaze landed on Baxter. She shrugged awkwardly.
We're cool.
I'm not expecting Elvis to jump in. Thank you. Don't worry about me. It was never my intention to swim. Please don't let that stop your fun. Wait, what?
Well,
It's simply not my preference. Terry squinted and thoroughly scrutinized him. She wasn't satisfied with his answer.
Uh-huh.
I think I get it. You're new here. You don't know what to do in the great wide sea. Just hold on to my back and I'll take you out in the water with me. Your place is right up the street. It's not too late to change. Well, I greatly appreciate the gesture. I must decline. I've experienced as much of the salt water as I want to already. Are you sure? I can totally handle it. I'm a lifeguard in training. Terry, I thought you hadn't signed up yet.
thank you.
Shh, I will, and that's what counts. I will, and that's what counts.
Thank you.
But it's just so sad to leave you out, you know? Me and Cove only became friends in the first place because we were beach people. You can be a beach man too, B-man. You be a beach man too, B-man. Oh, I like that. I love that Terry face. Yeah, Marina's a beach people too, you know. His crestfallen gaze slid to Cove. He nodded understandingly. Surprisingly, Baxter chuckled. Her crestfallen gaze slid to Cove. Baxter chuckled.
I get it.
I understand where you're coming from, and I'm sorry for any upset I might have caused, but please, trust me on this one. I'm perfectly fine. I may not be much of a seafaring man, but I have gone swimming before. Pools and lakes are no trouble to me. Yeah, me too. I enjoy at least lakes. Pools are just okay. If I had to rank them, lakes, ocean, pools, right? In fact, I would guess I've done certain water-based activities that some of you might be too nervous to try. Cove's lips pursed. He raised his chin and stared, not so much threatened by Baxter's accusation, but insulted that he would make such a challenge. Yeah.
Seriously?
Like what? I surf. I have a dad whose entire business is about water-based activities. I went on a jet ski when I was 8. What could you have done? Oh, we know. That's right. We know about his thing. His jet ski. Cove and his jet ski. He notably didn't mention the results of his young jet skiing adventure, and Baxter didn't show any hint of doubt about Cove's accomplishments. Baxter straightforwardly answered the question instead. Skinny dipping. Yeah, I've done that. But not anywhere super, like, public. Like, I've gone to, like, private places when I was a kid, and I think the only other person there was my brother. Cove's jaw dropped. The suggestion left him scandalized and the reddest you'd ever seen him. I'm sorry, I'm indecisive about these things. It's all for later, right? That doesn't count!
So,
You haven't done it then. You might want to. Especially since you already enjoy the water. It is rather liberating. Yeah, you know what else is fun? Swimming at night. Like going for a night swim. Baxter was making an honest recommendation. You could tell it wasn't his intention to come across mocking Cove's lack of experience there. However, Cove was still completely thrown. The suggestion of Baxter was even worse, implying that he was more confident in the water than Cove. Yeah, this man's just jealous now. The silent beat was broken by Miranda's embarrassed attempt to stifle her giggles with the palm of her hand. Her cheeks had grown flushed, and you knew it would be a while until she was confident enough to even dare to make eye contact with Baxter again. Terry, meanwhile, gave Baxter an impressed nod and instantly lost all composure. She fell into a boisterous fit of laughter, holding tightly under her own stomach. You were amused, too. You were even more nervous about it than Randy. He didn't think it was that big a deal. Personally, it was TMI. Would she care that Baxter had done it? Probably not. You took another lap around your friend's dramatic reactions before catching Baxter's attention. It was a little silly to find this so shocking, especially coming from Baxter.
is that fine?
Did I say something wrong? The playful note in his voice told you everything you needed to know. Baxter was fully aware and enjoying that bit of chaos unleashed in the group. Marina would probably go skinny dipping. It's not that scandalous, man. It depends on where you go. Like, if you were just, like, coming down here at night to go ski... You know what, though? Never mind. Now that I say that, Marina's probably done that. You exhaled deeply and did not comment. No one else added anything on the topic of Baxter's skinny dipping adventures either. It was back to the drawing board on what to do next. After a while, the gang mutually decided it would be best to go do something that was not water-based. The five of you continued to have a good time. You went on a shell hunt. Miranda managed to find the biggest, while you found the most colorful. Called a tiny crab. You did a bit of everything. There was an impromptu games, just soaking up each other's company. However, after a while, you all ran out of water, drinkable anyway. Water anyway. It was decided that you had to head to Cove's house or yours. Things were gathered, and you started to cheerfully walk up the road. What next? I don't have anywhere to go, so it could be whatever.
Yeah?
Same. I guess we can keep hanging out. Terry snorted and readjusted her grip on things. Don't sound too sure there, Cove. By this point, you could see your house. It hadn't taken you long to make the trip. The conversation continued with everyone throwing out suggestions. Are people hungry? She looked from face to face in inspection. Cove and Miranda shrugged in concert. Baxter didn't react. No one was overtly opposed to it. However, you weren't really starving. It wasn't quite mealtime. We're not starving. We could get dessert. Miranda put a finger to her lip and thought. With a smile, her voice became more confident. Yeah, that would be fun. Terry considered it and then shot Miranda a thumbs up.
Sure.
Sounds great to me. I could definitely go for that. I'm fine with that, if everyone else wants to. The topic of dessert was raised. Baxter hummed with interest. This caught everyone's attention, as nothing else had drawn a comment from him in a while.
What do you think?
If that is the next event, would we be willing to try ice cream and similar frozen treats? Oh my god, Baxter. Freaking... Oh, he has... I pictured that this man made a checklist of things before he went on vacation. I want to do this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this while I'm here in Southern California. And he's trying to check off his list. Or it's a mental checklist. Knowing Baxter, that's probably more likely. I like the sound of that.
Why?
Baxter shook his head ruefully. Truthfully, the one thing I have wanted to do while I'm here is to see an ice cream truck in person. I don't believe this. That the one thing. It's you have a bunch of things. My hometown doesn't have one, and neither is there one around my campus. It is a summer tradition that I have missed. You and Cove stared at him, blank-faced. Miranda pressed her lips together and shot a glance at Terry. Her expression was like a stone. It's a stone! Now that was a dramatic drop in mood. Am I being gauchely touristy right now? Gauchely. What's wrong with me? He was entirely off on the gas. Baxter couldn't only watch helplessly as the people around him remained unusually sober. Cole voiced the consensus of the locals. I've never been to an ice cream truck either.
What?
Are you serious? Miranda nodded her head and Baxter's composure shifted to incredulity. Me neither?
Nope.
When Baxter turned his head to you, you had nothing to offer. Sorry. There isn't an ice cream truck in Sunset Bird.
That's...
We have an ice cream stand on the shopping street. It's not exactly the same, but that's how it is. Oh, and sometimes we get ice cream at the park during big events. That was from a cardboard box, though. Still not a truck. I've only gone to ice cream parlors, and I've got ice cream from the freezer, part of grocery stores.
Me too.
Uh-huh, but sometimes my family makes it homemade. Oh my god, all these people. Also, her last name. There's a big farm chain, orchard chain around here called Eckert's Farms. That they have multiple, very public, locations where you can go and do, a store, and, they have live music and, rides for kids and stuff, and, a bunch of, farm, country, related stuff. And I think I might even have a video on my channel having gone there one time during the fall. If I haven't, I should this year, maybe. It's very commercial, but yeah. She always makes me think of that. And things like making homemade ice cream make me think of that even more. Baxter grinned, for once on the same grounds as his new companions. I've normally only eaten it at restaurants after a meal. I never realized ice cream trucks were so rare. Well, they are now. There's a growing trend that ice cream trucks aren't a popular thing anymore, especially since COVID, right? Unexpectedly, Cove was the first to agree with Baxter. He narrowed his eyes and spoke firmly. Then, yeah, let's find a truck. I've got to do it at least one time. It's weird that Cove gets along with him so well in this moment. No, never again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baxter's onto something. We've all been missing out. Terry raised a fist in the air in a dramatic pose. There has to be an ice cream truck somewhere in California. Okay. Okay, that's me, not Marina. Ah, I hate it. The first four No, let's see. It's so similar. Our names are so similar. Baxter brightened more, seeing his suggestion received support. Miranda smiled at him. You could only guess the first impression of Baxter. Given how she relaxed around him, you imagine he was growing on her. Yeah, he was growing on me about this time too, and then... He wasn't as exceedingly self-assured as he came across at first, but it was nicer when Baxter was confident. At first blush, never mind.
Let's do it.
That sounds fun. Let's look it up. Miranda reached into her bag and dug around for her phone. She pulled out a hair scrunchie and a small notepad with unicorns, and a bundle of chunky keychains. Her phone remained elusive. You are like my spirit animal. Oh my god. Just give me a sec. The rest of the group's mouths pulled into tentative, hopeful grins. There was an air of slight disbelief. Cove mulled it over while tapping his foot. Wherever it is, we're gonna have to drive to get there. I think so. None of them are in town, right? And everywhere else is far away. She finally retrieved her phone and started to search in her Maps app. She tapped her screen with a frown.
I'm not sure.
It's already late afternoon, too. I wonder if ice cream trucks are even still going around. See, I wouldn't want dessert before dinner if it was late afternoon. We have to believe. It's too soon to give up. Cove nodded, patting in his pockets. They were tellingly empty. I'll get my keys.
It's doable.
No need. Allow me. I asked to do this. It's only fair that I be the one to cover transportation. Besides, it's a rental. We may as well make the most of it while I have it. All right. Cove raised his shoulders in a bewildered shrug. Baxter ran his fingers through his hair to swipe his bangs. They fell back exactly into place after. I will return in only a moment. Terry shot him a thumbs up, and Miranda mumbled absentmindedly, focused on her task. Baxter flipped toward his condo and headed off, his strides long and determined.
Oh.
Cove raised a voice at Baxter's back. We'll put our stuff away while you're doing that. Baxter peered over his shoulder and answered.
Good.
Baxter was soon out of sight, and Cove had gathered up all his things into a sturdy hold. He gestured while his chin went to his house. Why do you have to be so close to the microphone and do this? Hi, I'm Baxter Ward. Thing. I hate it. I hate it so much. We can use my place for storage. You were on board with that. You shifted your things around so they'd be more comfortable to move. Thanks, Cove. He appreciated his offer for the simple truth that his dad would care way less about the mess than your mom's. Cove led the group to the file into the Holden household. Miranda brought up the rear and stumbling behind Terry. She was being led by the arm while still keeping her eye on her phone. Sandy towels were dropped at a heap in the living room, one after the other. No one wasted even a second with organization, taking cues from Cove's rush. Cliff comes out and shakes his head when he sees this. I need a minute. Gonna grab a shirt. No shirt, no shoes, no service, Cove. He darted down the hall, his steps low on the hard floor. You straightened out your shirt, suddenly conscious of what was on your own body after Cove brought up the topic. Why? Because we don't care. Cove returned, now decent in an Orca t-shirt. Terry hugged her arm around Miranda's and used her other hand to wave towards the door. I love that. It's such a cool design. We probably have that too. When you got out, you could see Baxter's shiny black vehicle idling in the street and waiting his passengers. Cove went for a seat in the back without consideration. He was not going to be in the front. But you would. But you chose to sit in the back. You also chose to sit in the back seat. You followed Cove and took this left seat. Terry claimed shotgun, and Miranda squeezed past Cove into the middle.
Hello.
Welcome to my car, dear friends. Do we know where we're going? Miranda nodded slightly and leaned forward to hold her phone up. Her persistence had bared fruit. There's some suburbs around the city where the ice cream trucks have routes during the summer. I can't tell exactly where they're going to be when we get there, though. Nowadays, there's probably an app that would tell you that. I'm just saying. That is more than enough. The two conferred on directions until Baxter decided on a route towards a random neighborhood street in the area as a starting point. He took off, the car gliding across the road with minimum vibration affecting the cabin. It was the smoothest ride you'd ever had in a vehicle. Baxter's frickin' fancy-ass rental car, too, and we got a weird, different view of it, too. Yeah, he's got the sunroof and these things. This is what you would call a luxury sedan. I'm not even going to comment too much on the car, though. In the heat of the excitement, Terry punched the music on. I've had some cars like this before for rentals, because it's all they have available or whatever, and they upgrade you for free. It connected to Baxter's song list, and your eardrums were struck with the pounding of a regular drum. A guitar riff freaked out after. It was on the punk metal track. Of course it was. Excuse me, can the music be changed? Turn it up. Can it be turned off? You covered your ears. You leaned back in your seat, satisfied. Turn it up! Terry snorted and obliged your request. You both jammed out as the speaker system surrounded you and the vibrations of the sound. As the drive continued, the music brought an almost surreal feel to the trip. The shredding guitars and shredded lyrics were a weird contrast to your goal of finding an ice cream truck. It inserted the humorous mental picture of an ice cream truck playing screaming punk metal, twisting instead of twinkling tunes to summon children for icy treats. Wouldn't that be... It'd be cool if there was a truck called an ice cream truck that was an actual, like, ice cream truck, and it was just, like, more modern and punk. I wish I had any entrepreneurial spirit, because I would totally do that. I could make root beer floats and sell them in the truck, too, because I'm an expert at root beer floats. Zipping through the length of Sunset Bird in no time, you flew past the now leaving sign. Past that, the car zoomed down the open road while Miranda attempted to dig up more details in the elusive ice cream trucks. Do they have socials? Maybe someone tagged them in a pic... Oh, they're live tweeting. Live tweeting. Oh, Jesus Christ. Do people still call it that? Even though it's X gonna give it to you now?
Huh?
Why would an ice cream truck be on Twitter? I can't even find out their hours for sure. There probably are some now. You know, I realize what's off about her. She's always given this, like, side glance. She's got one eye this way and one eye that way. I think I commented on another character like that, so it gives her this weird... Also, the eyebrow raise here, I just noticed. God, she's adorable. I believe in you. Minutes added up, as did the miles. The city got closer, but the shadows closed in faster. The sun glinted from behind distant skyscrapers, calling it late afternoon was being generous. It was evening. Unspoken tension began to form. The odds of an ice cream truck being active dropped with every passing second, but Miranda continued to search and Baxter kept driving. As planned, he turned off the highway and followed the streets into the heart of the suburbs. He rolled through the neighborhoods aimlessly until... Yes! Miranda beamed and shoved her phone up to the front. You found one! There's a truck that's still open and nearby. It was on Facebook. I think if we're going down their route, we'll find it at some point.
No way.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, who uses Facebook? In 2016, right? Who uses Facebook? People who want ice cream, let's go. Old people? Wow, you know, I never noticed that she's very expressive. These eyebrows, she's got like a very determined, like, I love this face for her. Both of them are so expressive and I love it. Please direct me, I can't read the post. First, take a left at this next stop sign. I forgot this is like her big moment. Baxter clicked off the music to focus on Miranda's words. He also opened his window. Terry and Cole followed Baxter's lead, but Terry could get further and pushed her head out the window as far as the seatbelt would let her. Her hands cupped around her ears. Cole would lean farther out when he saw anything even kind of truck-shaped. Everyone had their ears and eyes wide open for any signs. If an ice cream truck was somewhere in the area, they weren't going to miss it. I feel like you get real character assassinated in these moments, because you can't, like, do anything yourself. Like, you just see what everybody else does, and I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, I'll sit back and do nothing. You opened yours, too. You did... Oh, never mind, you did, too, and stuck your head out. You did, too, and stuck your head out. Yeah, we get to do this. Okay, good. You pushed off the floor of the car and twisted into position with your head going straight out through the opening. Marina would probably almost be doing this. If she was in the middle, she'd be out the middle of the freaking sun. She'd have Baxter open the sunroof for her. At such a slow pace, the wind was coming through, whipped your hair pleasantly. Much less nicely, a fine dust blew from the street. You squinted against the dirt in the sun. It had sunk low enough to be perpendicular with your eye line. Still no truck to be seen. The houses you passed seemed older, probably built decades ago. Some had colorful lawn decorations and well-kept flower gardens, others were nothing but green grass. Conversation stopped entirely once Miranda had told Baxter all he needed to know. He drove through the residential streets like a hunter on the prowl. The target could have been anywhere. He turned a corner, Faint laughter filtered in through the windows. You heard birds chirping and rustling leaves, but in that moment, none of that mattered. That's not what you needed. But in the streets, the children screamed, the lovers laughed, and the poets dreamed, right? Fingers were crossed and breaths were held. Baxter turned yet again toward the signs of life, and a new sound gradually floated in from the distance. You concentrated on a high-pitched jingling tune. Was it? It had to be. It was the musical call of an ice cream truck. I've done this before, too, where I've driven around neighborhoods looking for an ice cream truck. This is not new to me. This is definitely something I've done in my life. Nobody could see it yet, despite there being watchers on all sides, but the song got louder. I used to live in a neighborhood where ice cream trucks came to regularly, though. That was a treat. Not so much anymore. They don't come to the city, just in suburbs. Baxter followed it persistently, his fingers tightening their grip on the wheel. That jingle was the Pied Piper, and everyone was drawn in by it. The car came up to the crossroads and stopped. That instant, a clamor filled the car. Everyone in there, even the ever-relaxed Baxter, cheered or gasped in sync. An ice cream truck drove right by, in front of your very eyes. It was technically white, but covered in so many brightly colored pictures the original paint was more of an accent. Stickers with warnings such as "Go slow" and "Watch for children" stood out in red. As recognizable characters and edible versions were in a grid, labeling them as A1 or C3 for convenient ordering. Probably Sonic the Hedgehog, Spider-Man, maybe Shrek. Just saying, SpongeBob. They would be Supanjubabu for sure. It was like a moving treasure chest of frozen goodness, and the temptation was too strong for some. Still in the middle of the intersection, Cove's door popped open and his seatbelt zipped up against the cushion with nothing left to protect. Cove was gone. I mean, this is the stupidest stuff. I hate people like this, who do this, who open their door in the middle of an intersection. Oh my god. But you know what? As soon as humanly possible, you join Cove in the wide world. Shoes to the pavement, you rush to get the ice cream. You and Cove jogged after the truck leading the pack. Terry, yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking here, but I need this. Terry charged and cheered and waved, trying to catch the driver's attention. Miranda skipped behind her, moving her arms in wide motions. The truck lurched to a stop. You'd done it. All four of you rushed to the side with the service window. You excitedly crowded around the stuck-on menu. You could feel the anticipation of a kid and their birthday, except it was somehow everybody's birthday at the same time.
Finally.
There's so many things.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting so many options. Where's the actual ice cream? Baxter arrived while Terry pointed out a corner of the menu with more ice cream choices and popsicles. When you flailed down the middle of the road, he had responsibly parked this car on the opposite side of the street, end of the nearly empty street. Up close, you could see the images were faded. They weren't as vibrant as they should have been, and the chips of paint were flaking off. If anything, the wear and tear increased the charm. It was real, and it was just what you had imagined. You were fully experiencing a quintessential summer ritual. The order window lifted, and the driver gave a hearty greeting. Okay, this is probably necessary for this. Look at this ice cream truck. Yeah, they can't put any actual characters. There would be way more freaking characters plastered on this if it was a real ice cream truck. Good evening! Good evening to you. Hi!
Hey.
You waved at the friendly driver from behind the others.
Sorry.
Thanks for stopping for us. Sorry for chasing you. No, thank you for stopping by. Can I get you something?
Absolutely.
Oh god, that makes my skin crawl. Stop it. Stop it! He beamed with victory, a cat who got his cream. Literally. Then he gave his first check over the options and shrugged. However, we do require a moment. Of course, no problem. Take your time. That started the great ice cream discussion. The ice cream was serious business and took consideration. Miranda was firmly in the camp of actual ice cream options, making the valid point that you'd come for ice cream. Terry wasn't convinced, neither was Cove. Getting ice cream obviously didn't mean you actually had to get ice cream, and even the truck counted. The debate ended with no agreed-on winner. Everyone just got what they wanted. Yeah, why would you do anything else? Why would you all decide to get one thing? That's boring. Hi again. I'd like a coconut popsicle. Sure, let me get that for you. She reached over into the freezer and pulled out the first of the treats. She handed it off to Cove and he passed her some cash. I'll have one of those snow cones. Yeah, we actually have, like, cash now as an adult. Isn't that amazing? Or as a teenager. And can I have a chocolate-dipped ice cream cone, please? The D4. They both received their treats, paid, and stepped away to clear the way. You decided to order a grape popsicle, a strawberry popsicle, a coconut popsicle, a chocolate cream popsicle, a strawberry cream popsicle, an orange cream popsicle, an ice cream sandwich, an ice cream cone, a chocolate-dipped ice cream cone, a cartoon-faced popsicle, an ice cream taco, a snow cone, an ice cream sundae cup, a frozen lemonade. Nothing. Oh, jeez. So, I will go out on a limb here. I want to talk about something first. Just something that I need to do this summer that I realize I haven't frickin' done. This is supposed to be summer 2025, let's get it. And we're already halfway through August, and I have not done something that is I had those little cup ice creams this summer, but I have not had fudgesicles. Fudgesicles are amazing. I'm wondering if that's what they mean by chocolate cream popsicle. It's basically a chocolate popsicle, but it's more than that. It tastes different. Marina, however, is more of a chocolate taco kind of gal. Just saying. Baxter, meanwhile, had yet to finish staring at the menu. With intense scrutiny, his eyes went over the rows of advertised frosty desserts long after everyone else had theirs. It was getting awkward, especially for the lady in the truck, who would be stuck there until he finally got around to ordering something. Terry tried to break the ice, or ice cream, and cracked a joke. Get the ice cream sundae cup! The ice cream is totally white, and the chocolate sauce looks almost black. She found that to be a side splitter, but it didn't make a dent in Baxter's reverie. The world around him was lost to the palace of his mind. Baxter? Still no reaction. A new strategy was needed. Terry stuck a hand right in front of his face, cutting him off from the pictures, taking his attention. He blinked, and the spell of those tantalizing treats was broken.
I'm sorry.
Is something the matter? That's what we wanted to ask you. You've been quiet for a while. Ah, yes, I have been. Baxter put a hand to his chin and propped his hip to one side. The focus that had been so centered in the truck was now set upon the rest of you. Yeah, he's just super into, his, bullshit. With that pose and his already eccentric style, Baxter looked like a side character in a cartoony mystery game. One who was definitely not the criminal, but still needed to be cross-examined for important details. That's a good description of how Baxter looks. He looks like he could be a Danganronpa character, too, if I'm honest. He's the one person in this game that doesn't seem like a real person most of the time. My problem is, I'm unsure if I should get dessert that's not to my usual taste. If I do, I'd be certain to enjoy what comes from the ice cream truck. That would be nice. But on the other hand, this may happen only once. Perhaps it'd be more rewarding to get something new, an option that would be challenging to find in a common store. Which will add more to the experience. Indulgence or novelty? I want to make the right choice. You should treat yourself to something you actually like. Why not get something wild? You can get more than one treat. Get whatever you want, then you can try what I got too. I think worrying about what's absolutely perfect will really waste the moment. You try to listen to Baxter Ben's concerns. This. I think worrying about what's absolutely perfect will really waste the moment. Which frozen dessert you pick to determine what the day is, whether the day is ruined or not. That's way too much pressure, and there's much more to do much more to what we've done. So much more to what we've done. That is true. He accepted the sentiment, though clearly couldn't put it to practice so easily. You only managed to get him even more to think about. That is true. Once again, Baxter was falling into deep consideration. You could see it in his distant eyes. Terry saw it was up herself. She cut straight to the simplest solution before it was too late. Don't pick. Get both.
Thanks.
Thank you. I believe I'll do just that.
Fun.
Success. Indeed, but now you're going to have to bear with me. He said so teasingly, he was all self-directed. I promise it's not what you think. I'm being entirely honest. I'm going to get my preferred treat of this type to eat. At least for one of them. Okay, why would we have a problem with that? That's because my favorite is an ice cream sandwich. Cove, Terry, and Miranda exploded into laughter. That's what I should have suggested, not the sundae.
So great.
It's the perfect black and white selection for Baxter. You swallowed your own laugh. You laughed freely with the others. Come on, give him a break. That's a good one, Baxter. That's a good one, Baxter. Baxter ran his hand across his bangs, his smile sweeping into a grin at the same time. It was obvious he knew exactly what he was doing. Far from being bothered by your laughter, it seemed like that was what he was aiming for all along.
You know,
I cannot deny that I had originally tried them because of the colors. It had been picked out for me because they'd assumed I'd appreciate having black and white dessert. Which I did. Ooh, wouldn't this be cool if this was something that happened in our life too? I wonder if that's a hint at something that will happen. But they are the tastiest type of simple ice cream treat to me. It's a simple coincidence, or perhaps it was meant to be. I've never had a chocolate taco. I should really do that this sometime.
Uh-huh.
If you insist, Monsieur. I believe you. Go get your sandwich. Baxter approached the truck with determinedly and leaned against the counter. He spoke briefly to the patient ice cream lady, then money was exchanged. In return, he got his prize. Coveted ice cream truck treats were finally in his hands. Baxter already explained his first choice, the one he knew he'd like, but the other option, the one you could only get from an ice cream truck, was a mystery. He held up for the curious onlookers. In his grip was a damp wrapper that boldly stated what lay underneath. A creamy popsicle that made it look like a cute girl with bubblegum pieces in the eyes. Is it a Powerpuff Girl? Is it Sailor Moon? Or is it Star Butterfly? Because I would kill for a Star Butterfly ice cream. Just saying. She was a character from an ever-popular cartoon show. A sweet thing covered mostly by blues and yellows. An overall wildly out of place man like Baxter... An overall wildly out of place for a man like Baxter Ward to possess. Yeah, this could be Powerpuff Girls. Could be Bubbles. That's what I was thinking. It might be Bubbles. Baxter was living on the edge of that evening. If anybody knows what character they're referencing here, please let me know, because I'm dumb. I'm trying to think what other characters have been popular in 2016 that look like that. Co snorted a laughter. Terry applauded. Oh yeah, you can't get that in the grocery store. I do that sometimes. I get those kinds of things at ice cream trucks because yeah, I agree with this. I agree with all of them. or a restaurant, and it'd be really hard to make yourself. You've done good, Baxter. Entirely straightforward, Baxter made his intentions known. This will be the first and last time I consume a small girl's face, ideally. Ew! I forgot he said this! This vaguely pedophilic line! Oh, God! Go away! Like, that's not funny. That's not funny. Novelty indeed. Ugh. After one more thanks to your crowd, the ice cream sales lady shut the side window, then the truck slowly began to move. Yeah, she probably heard him say that too. Your friend shouted in a wave and gave grand farewells, which, I mean, I know it was a funny joke, haha, funny joke, but, well, read the room, buddy. Wishing her well on her journey for bringing treats to young and old, she beeped the horn a couple times in cheer of her own. The truck eventually disappeared beneath the skyline, and you, along with the others, ambled across and up down the road towards Baxter's car with treats in hand. Now, I know there's more to this moment, but I don't... I'm going to do the thing that I normally do here, and say to you, do a false start and probably cut out if... Oh, I hate that, though. Do we just do a super long video and get this over with? Probably. Let's just power through it.